Hey everyone, welcome to TheSelfMadeMen on YouTube. We've got video number 6, I think. I think it's actually 5, but we had a bloopers in there, so it's like 5.0. Yep. 5.5,
Yep.
5, 4.5, and this is 5. My name is Jason.
I'm Rowan.
And we've got some questions in our inbox from Tumblr and YouTube and email and stuff like that, so we're just going to run through them like always. You know the drill. All right, here we go. We're going to try not to touch the table.
Because that happens.
Just going to put my hands over here.
Okay. First question. I just have a question about your prosthetics. Out of the ones you carry, which one is the most flexible? I bought the Captain from your site a while back, and it's great, but it's a bit too firm, if that makes sense.
Did you not want to?
You can feel free to answer.
Okay. Out of all the sexual prosthetics that we sell, now that we carry the Tantus line, the pack and play ones would actually be considered the softest because they're a little bit firmer than the Packers. But out of the others, I would definitely say the European. If you were to hold it, the base like this, it kind of like droops down, so you can, put it anywhere you want. That's not how I wanted to end that. You can just put it wherever you want. It's not that it droops. It's very flexible. It accommodates multiple positions.
All right. The next question says, I plan to get my name legally changed before summer's end, but what about T? Who do I go to? My local doctor, a hospital. I live in a small town in Vermont, so my options are limited. Also, how long would I need to transition before I can start T? I do what I can now, but I am not out to my family, so I can only go so far. Okay, a lot of things to cover in this question. For the T aspect, a local doctor is a good place to start. They can usually refer you. A lot of the times, the person that's going to be administering your testosterone or signing the scripts and all that is going to be an endocrinologist. But sometimes your GP can do that too if they're knowledgeable and trans-friendly. You can also get it from hospitals and stuff. It really depends, but I would start asking at doctors. There's a lot of resources online. We have information about endocrinologists and doctors by area a lot of the time. So I would Google. That's always a good place to start too. If you can make it to an LGBT-specific clinic anywhere in the Northeast, or even if you could trek to somewhere like Albany or New York City, they have a lot of resources there too. So those are some of the options for T, but also just for other medical questions. Let's see. After changing your name, that will be a process in and of itself, and that has nothing to do with whether you're on testosterone or doing anything else medically related. In terms of starting T and how long you need to be transitioning before, it varies. A lot of the times, state by state, they will need a licensed therapist or psychologist who has basically signed off and said, like, you are who you say you are, and that there's no other confounding mental health barriers in the way. I'm not sure how that's going to work now that whenever the new DSM comes out, because gender identity disorder has been taken out of the newest version of the DSM, so that might change things a little bit. So I don't know concretely the answer to that particular question. And the fact that you're not out to your family might prove to be an obstacle in terms of having support if you're on your parents' insurance or something like that. So finding out like whether or not you want to come out to them or whether it's a good time, or not that there's a good time to do it, but if it's a safe time to tell your family, that might be something you should start to consider as well, so that they can be with you or at least be aware of the journey that you're embarking on. You read this and you can answer? Sure. You want to trade? All right. Our next question says, how do you search for top surgery surgeons? Top surgery surgeons. Is there a network of them on a website, or do you have to ask around? I'm at a loss.
The biggest resource for surgeons in general for the FCM community is called TransBucket. That's transbucket.com. You'll have to kind of register to gain access to it because they don't just want anybody like looking at people's results, especially the like bottom surgery and that kind of stuff. So that's probably the main thing to look at. I found my top surgeon because my doctor knew about him, and so she referred me to him. Sometimes you can ask around. Sometimes you can just like you might be able to just Google, this is my area and I'm looking for a top surgeon. Sometimes top surgery is also synonymous with like a cosmetic surgery. My surgeon also does like breast implants and that kind of liposuction and that kind of stuff. So they might be like a dual thing. They just don't. They might be trans friendly as well. They just don't. They're primarily advertised for liposuction and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like my surgeon is also a plastic surgeon. So the way that I found out about him was through my therapist, and she knew that he was in the area, like right down the road, and that he had done the surgery on other people, but it's not like that's what he's advertising for. He does, implants and liposuction and lifts and all sorts of other stuff, and that's where his primary income comes from, but he was also trained to do my surgery.
Our next question is, what is a packer and what is meant by packing?
Okay. A packer is a soft prosthetic in the shape of a penis, or male genitalia, if you will. It's generally made out of a really soft material. They all have really weird names, so it's really not important, but it's all non-toxic, phthalate-free, safe to use against your skin and stuff like that. And so packing is the practice of using one of these packers, so that way people can see that you have a bulge and you can feel it. It helps people with their dysphoria and things like that. All right, our next question. How can a guy get involved in the pen pal program? That's how you do it.
What was that? I don't know. I don't know what that was.
He shocks himself constantly by just doing things.
Yeah, signing up for the pen pal, go on our site, and then at the top it says programs, and there's a little drop-down menu, and it says Me Too, the pen pal program, which is what it's cleverly named. You just sign up. You sign up your email address and a little bio about yourself. So my little sister, Gabby, is actually the pen pal coordinator right now. And so I send those all to her, all the entries, and she sits there and she reads over the bios. And, people that are roughly the same age, kind of, and, interested in the same things maybe, or just seem like they would be a good match, she sends them the email address and bio of the opposite person, and then just basically connects you. We have I'm pretty sure the number was roughly in the 6,000s right now, matched up, and they keep coming in, so it's great. If you want more than one, or if your partner is unresponsive or anything like that, at any time you can just resubmit, and we don't count duplicates, so we'll just give you a new one.
Expression or inquiry? Okay, I'll just read a couple.
Okay.
Let's improvise, guys.
All right, our next question is, what does the questioning mean, as in LGBTQ?
Okay.
First, hold on. First, I wanted to just say that typically the LGBTQ, there's LGBTQQIA, which is another form of the alphabet soup here, but generally the first Q stands for queer, which is like an umbrella term for anyone that's just, not anything. It kind of gets away from like the labels of LGBT, and queer has been used for like just this, I'm different, you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. It used to be really derogatory, and it's been reclaimed by some people. I wouldn't necessarily call anybody queer unless they self-identify as queer to you personally, and then it's okay, but use your own discretion. To answer your question, though, we Googled it.
We asked Google what questioning means, and here's your definition of questioning. From the Free Dictionary, Merriam-Webster. Questioning, an adjective, proceeding from or characterized by a feeling of doubt or uncertainty. So, in the context of LGBTQ, these would be people who are unsure or maybe doubtful or uncertain of either their sexual orientation or their gender identity or something else entirely.
Let me Google that for you.
Hey guys, I'm finally looking at buying my first STP/packer.
I want the absolute best I can get, and it's okay if I have to save for a while to get it. I'm a pretty big guy, so I need one that's long and has no problem covering a big area. Do you have any suggestions? I can't exactly try these things on before purchase, and I don't really have a good idea of what I'm looking for.
Definitely an issue with the whole online purchasing of STPs and packers and prosthetics and stuff like that. I wanted to put in a shameless plug here and say that our conference event that we're doing this year is actually a show and tell of packers and prosthetics and STPs and everything like that.
Which conference?
All of them.
All of them?
Yes. We've got that event going on at the Empire Conference, the Keystone Conference, and the Philadelphia Trans Health Conference this year. So look at our events page to see which one you can get to, if you can get to any of those. It'll let you basically touch and feel everything that you want to look at, and then you can order through us, or you can order through someone else, but you should order through us. I don't know why I even suggested that you
Don't
order
do
through
it.
someone else.
Don't do it.
Back to your question, though. I realize that you're looking for an STP/packer, so you're probably looking to pack NP with this device. There's a lot of really expensive ones. I know that the Peacock and stuff like that are around $200 to $250, but I don't have any personal experience with those, so I'm not going to try to review or tell you to get those because I couldn't tell you that they're good or bad. The ones that I do have experience with, the ones that we sell, are the Mr. Penis, and then we have the nipple and the spoon end that are packers. The Mr. Penis is kind of more like a tube. The penis stands for funnel penis, so it's not really for packing at all. It's really just an STP. But for you and your inquiry about larger areas, the Mr. Penis has a 3.5 inch pee catching area. I'm not really receptacle. Yeah. So it's about this big, and then the penis comes through this big. So it covers all the area. It's probably the easiest STP that I've ever even seen, and that's about $20. So $20. The two that we sell, we buy through Bullet Briefs, and they are the nipple end and the spoon end. The spoon end it's really small, actually. It's probably about an inch. So if you're really, really awesome at, maybe like an inch and a half, but if you're really awesome at lining things up for yourself, then I'd go with that one. But the nipple end, the nipple end is I'd say about this big, and then it pops open, so it's approximately like this, and you can aim it so that it just covers the whole area, and it just funnels it right through the STP. You can get that in 3.5 inches, which I'd say if you were looking to cover the area that you said, I would go with the 5 inches because it also helps go through your boxers and your jeans better.
What are some good boxer briefs to help ease packing and keep my packer in place and doesn't have to stay against your skin all day?
I definitely understand the staying against your skin all day. I know with like cyber skin and stuff like that, it gets really sticky, and if you're sweating down there, or if you've got any amount of hair or anything like that, it just kind of just sticks. And so not to just focus on the things that we sell, but they're the things that I know. So we offer all sorts of boxers and stuff like that, from Under Armour to Liz Claiborne to Jockey, and then we have the really cheap kinds, which are like the Bullet Briefs, which are Comfort Soft Waistband Hanes, which I used to wear when they didn't have packer pouches in them. So they have a packer pouch, like I just said, and it's basically just a bunch of folds of fabric where you can put everything through, and it just holds it in place. It's got a barrier between you, a cloth barrier. So you've got your packer in there. It doesn't move around or anything. There's a hole that the shaft goes through so that you can use it as an STP holder as well. Those are about between $8 and $11 on our site. Each one, they come in a bunch of sizes and a bunch of colors. And then you got the Jockey and stuff like that. Aside from the pouch, they also come with something called a free baller thing, and it's basically this strap that comes down from the top of the waistband and has like a cage of straps, and you put it around the balls of the packer, and it just holds it in place, but it doesn't hold it in place. So it's like free balling, like it can go wherever it wants to.
Feel like going commando.
Yes, it just kind of holds it. I mean, that won't have a protective barrier like the pouch does. Our next question. is, hey, I have a question.
Our next question says, I have a question.
I've been on T shots for almost 7 months now. I haven't always been able to get the shot exactly every week, and sometimes I'm a day or two late on a shot as well. I currently
People are weeks late, so.
I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do it 4 days ago. I currently have a cisgendered boyfriend, and we do have sex. We are always very careful, but last night we think that the condom may have broken. I'm trying to go with the positive it won't happen aspect, but part of me is worried. What do you think the chances are that I could actually get pregnant from that?
Okay, one of the first things is kind of the negative aspect, which is even if you're on T, you have the same amount of chance to get pregnant. The possibility is still there. However, when you do start T, I think most people sign it felt like a 12-page like consent form that they went through like every single thing with you. That was like all of the side effects and everything that could possibly happen to you on T. And one of the things was you may become sterile within your first like shot of testosterone. It could. They're always like, if you're going to harvest your eggs or bank your sperm at this time, like you do it before you start. So I think depending on whether your menstruation cycle has ceased at this point, depending on your dosage, that also might have an effect. However, there's no way to know. Unfortunately, there's been no long-term studies on these sorts of things. So the important thing is to always use condoms or other birth control methods. T is not birth control. It never will be. You have to be safe, better safe than sorry. However, when things like this do happen, I would just be very aware. See if anything happens. There's no way to know if something like you becoming pregnant will result from that. Hopefully it doesn't, since you do not seem to want that. But yeah, I would just pay attention and be very careful in the future as well.
So there's an article on our site in trans and sexual or 18+ site about safe sex methods for trans guys.
I will read the question, you can answer it.
Okay.
Great. I read the article on shaving you guys posted. I was wondering, as a pre-T guy with an ample amount of peach fuzz, would shaving be a good idea? It's going to be a while before I can start transitioning, and I would like to do something at least. If so, should I go with a manual 3-blade disposable or an electric razor?
The difference between a disposable blade and an electric razor are pretty much up to you. The one thing I will say about a 3-blade is that you want to make sure that you have at least peach fuzz because running a blade over your face when there's nothing there, it could potentially just lead to a really wicked case of razor burn.
Not fun.
I know that you want to do something at least, and shaving is kind of a rite of passage of masculine people or people that want to shave their face. I didn't know how to word that.
It is a rite of passage for people who want to shave their face.
People who want to shave their face, yeah. And so it can feel really, gender affirming to shave your face. You could even, I know, one time when I was on T and Noah wasn't, we had a shaving party, and I shaved my face, and he flipped the razor around and just scraped the shaving cream off of his face. And so he really, he felt like he was doing it, but it didn't result in any razor burn. I know when I was pre-T, just learning about all this stuff, I was looking up passing tips, and they did say that, boys don't have peach fuzz like girls do, like that soft fuzz. So shaving that off might be a way to pass better. That's up to you, whether you feel that way. Yeah, so it might feel good to shave, but just definitely avoid the razor burn.
Take all the proper steps to getting a good shave,
Yes.
Make sure your pores are open, have a lot of shaving cream or whatever you're using before that, clean razors, aftershave afterwards, something like that. So take care of your face. Take care of you.
You can still get razor burn with an electric razor, so still do that.
Just got to do all the prep work.
Yes.
Great.
You want to read it and we'll both answer it?
Sure. Hey guys, I need some haircut tips. I am preteen, so I don't have any facial hair, including sideburns, and I want to cut my hair very short so that I can pass better. I have a predominantly masculine facial structure. Good for you. But I will feel insecure about not having a lot of hair around my ears. Do you know of a way I can buzz the side and back up my head without it looking like a feminine hairline?
Okay. Well, one thing before Jason gives you a bunch of really cool haircut tips, don't feel insecure about your ears showing. One thing I've actually heard is, Alexa's touching her ears right now, is that if you think about it in our society, the people whose ears you see are generally men. Most guys with shorter haircuts, their ears can be seen, and a lot of women with longer haircuts, their ears aren't shown unless they have it's up in a ponytail or something like that. And even then, a lot of the times it's still covered. When I got my first really short haircut last fall, I'd had shaggy the Bieber, if you will, for a while. So I was used to having hair all over my ears and stuff, and I was worried about it because I was like, oh my god, my ears are sticking out, I look ridiculous. And my mom saw it and she was like, no, you look much more masculine now than you did before. So I wouldn't feel insecure about your ears. Sometimes that can actually help pass better with that haircut.
Okay. I know that tapering is a way. I know that sometimes when you get really short, it sticks down like this. It looks just fluffy. You know what I mean? So if you taper really fast within this space of your hair, you go from a 1 to a 2 to a 3, the gradual leveling. What's that word? I'm looking for a word I can't find. The gradient of that it goes up to, having it really short on the sides will help with that. Also, when I preteen, I don't think it changes my head. It just changes your hairline, right? Because I remember when I was preteen, I had short hair, and I felt like it made my head look funny or just weird. And so if you ask for your hairline to start a little lower, like here, it'll make your head look more like a box.
Yeah.
And so that will help with the roundedness. I felt like my head was round. But yeah, definitely lower your start line of the top of your hair. Showing yours, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
And it can also depend on where you're getting your haircut too. A lot of the times, if you're going to a unisex salon and people are seeing that you're presenting as female, they'll give you a feminine haircut, generally speaking, or if they just read you as female. But if you were to walk into a barbershop or something like that, where they're used to doing masculine haircuts and you're presenting passing enough as male, they'll give you a generally masculine haircut, and then you don't have to worry too much about it. But take those tips definitely, and don't be insecure about your ears.
That was a joke.
Okay.
One time I played Apples to Apples, and a friend of mine, the adjective we were going for something quite positive, and someone put down Pearl Harbor, and all my friends were like, too soon, too soon. Clearly it wasn't.
It's a joke. It was not.
It's a joke.
If any of my friends are watching that, you'll remember. Probably aren't watching.
Marin watches all your videos.
I know, she wasn't there for that though.
Mm.
She does.
All right, here we go. In your last video, speaking of Marin, in your last video you talked about your friends often being the ones that got the questions about your trans life. One of my friends recently came out as trans, and the questions are starting to pile up. Sometimes I don't know if I'm answering their questions correctly. How do your friends handle it?
Well, my friend, Marin,
The one who gets the majority of the questions about me, I think, handles it with a lot of humor. As far as I know, and she will probably correct me the minute this goes on YouTube if I get it wrong, so we'll add an addendum if I am incorrect.
She answers the questions that she knows the answer to, as much as she can. Sometimes she asks me, she'll be like, someone asked me this the other day, I didn't know what to say, what do you think? It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to be like, that's not an appropriate question. How the hell would I know that kind of stuff? A lot of the questions asked are really inappropriate things like, what kind of surgery have you had? What's in your pants? Kind of stuff. Things that people aren't going to ask your friend because they know it's inappropriate. That's why they're asking you. You can still be like, I don't know. That's none of your business, really. It's none of my business. It's none of your business. So don't worry about whether you're handling the questions correctly unless, you're not being affirming to your friend unless you're, saying like, oh, their gender isn't really important. You don't really have to call them their new name, which I'm assuming you're not doing already. So I'm sure you're on the right track, and just thinking about what questions are appropriate to answer is just do the best that you can. I'm sure we will have more information for you soon, because no doubt Marin will tell me things. But I think you're doing a good job already, especially if you're looking at stuff like our site and reaching out like that. So keep up the good work.
I had 2 thumbs, but my thumb was over there.
4 thumbs.
4 thumbs up.
All thumbs.
Here. Okay. We could probably start at. I just
That's
want a
like
harness
one-
that's not a jockstrap.
I know, that's one sentence.
They have a lot of
commas.
harnesses and stuff. They've tried a lot of things, and the end question is, I don't want a harness that's. I want a harness that's not a jockstrap and holds my packer in place. I know we. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go with this. I know that we just a couple of questions back answered the bullet briefs thing about the free baller and the packer pouch. I'm sure I'll put where each. Like what minute each question was asked, so just pop back to that one about the Packers. That's definitely, not to plug our site again, but that's definitely what we would recommend. On our Tumblr, there's a review site that someone did on the bullet briefs, so you can see them inside out. You can see them like how you put a Packer in them and everything like that. I'll reblog that, put that on the top.
Oh yeah, I had those too.
Me too. I don't know why.
They weren't on my nipples though, because those are grafted.
Mine
around the scar
weren't on
area.
my nipples, but yeah.
Around the area.
Right.
I've gotten,
Yeah.
It feels like I'm just getting like acne.
Yeah.
I feel like part of that is just like my chest was inside of a like compression vest for literally like 2 weeks, and I couldn't open it. So
Yeah.
my body was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
All the oil and dirt." I googled sebum, or how you
Okay. What is it?
It's the it's like white,
Waxy stuff. That's
like oily, waxy stuff,
Yeah,
but it's inside your skin. It's the stuff that like
that's
protects the
definitely
hair.
what I would say. I was pulling out.
Yeah, it
myself.
protects the hair.
Huh.
That's what that's what it is, and it's coming out.
Hmm.
Maybe because there's like incision lines or something like that.
Well, let me tell you the
Because
question.
I was like,
we're
is that
talking
a
about.
word? And then I looked it up, and it was. Learning so many things.
It's called sebum. Sebum. Okay. Well, let me tell you the question that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
sorry.
I've noticed a number of zit type things on my nipples after having top surgery. Is that normal? They're sort of blackheads. They're sort of like blackheads, but just sebum, which is what we just defined. I had that actually like all through around like just this whole area had like little blackheads, and sometimes it still does. And then I get them like right around my nipple area. No, they're just like little like wax or like stuff that just comes out. I take them out in the shower. She yells at me.
Actually, I have heard of a lot of cis women actually have this happen just randomly. It's a thing that happens. I think it might even be just like a hormonal shift thing. Anything like that. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. I definitely had them right after surgery. It still happens randomly sometimes. Not around the nipple, but around just my incision lines and stuff too. I think it's just your body reacting to the invasion, essentially. I'm not sure what kind of procedure you had, but either way, there was an invasion of your body, and your body is trying to fight back with it. So I think a lot of things are just out of whack. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Just shower regularly, keep everything clean, exfoliate, and you should be fine. Nothing to worry about.
Sweet, cool. That was our last question.
Nice.
Yes, and we did it. Perfect time for you to go to dinner.
Yay!
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh,
No, it's
Okay.
it's a potato French fry.
I'm not Noah.
That wasn't no.
Huh?
That was Bill's. Oh yeah.
Oh well, I'm not Bill either. That's true. You're right.
It's really hard for us to do our sure. Do you want to explain that?
So casual. Last November 2011. So not even like last November, but the one before.
We went to a volleyball game.
Yeah, we went to a volleyball game because Alexa's on the dance team at our school, and during this volleyball game we were spectating, and a lot of the players, every time anything happened, they touched
Good or bad?
fingers very quickly,
Good or bad?
just like that. Someone lost the ball.
Good job.
Someone
Good job.
spiked the ball.
Ooh, good job.
Double points.
Oh yeah.
someone completely shit the bed. It was like every time anything at all happened, instead of like slapping each other's asses like they do in other sports such as
I think they did that
basketball
though.
or football, there were.
little
But there were.
touch,
It was very sporadic.
a tushy
though.
touch.
But they finger touched. So anytime anything happened, now we're just like, want to make it even funnier. Pinky touch. So that's what we do now. We also have a real handshake, but
Last time you did that, you hit 2 girls in the face.
not even the last time we did it. The last time we did it when I was,
Yeah.
I think we can all follow it. He wasn't paying attention.
They weren't paying attention.
They weren't paying attention. I went ham, and no one was there for me, and the hands went elsewhere, and I felt really bad about it, and only one of them remembers.
Yeah.
So I apologize profusely to this day.
That's fine.
So it's okay.
Okay. We should end this video,
We
probably.
We'll wrap up.
Thank you for watching
Yeah.
The Self-Made Men on YouTube. Check out our last 4 videos and our bloopers. We're on YouTube. We're actually about to bring all of our videos together on this place called FTM Tube, which is like YouTube, but just for FTMs. They're transitions. It deals with a lot of stuff. A lot of guys are using it now.
Keep sending us questions.
Yes, the questions are good because then we can make videos. And you can see our faces. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.